Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are well. Okay, so I'm sure many of you are familiar with G from Bookroast. G is really well known for hosting the majority, if not all, of the Harry Potter magical readathons. These readathons range everything from the owls that happened just very recently, I think in April, to the newts that I think are in August, and then there's a Charms Extra Credit readathon. There's going to be a Hogsmeade readathon starting tomorrow. Everything that you can possibly imagine, G does it. She also makes these incredible graphics to go along with her readathons. Very Harry Potter, magical-esque, very, very stunning, very nostalgic, and honestly, her readathons often get me out of reading slumps. They make me really excited about reading again, and they remind me why I love it so much in the first place. Yesterday, G released a video, which I will have linked in the description box and probably up here, about the Hogsmeade magical readathon that was meant to commence this coming Monday, and how it's not necessarily canceled. You're still able to do it if you want to. The materials and prompts are still out there, but G is going to be reconfiguring magical readathons from now on in lieu of all of the stuff with J.K. Rowling. If you're not familiar with said stuff, just look up her name and it'll pop right up. Probably along with something like Transphobia Manifesto. Something like that. So clearly, everything going on with J.K. Rowling, whether or not you believe in the theory of death of an author, it's changing the way that the Harry Potter community works. We are a community, I feel, that preaches love. That we accept everyone, and it's a community with extreme empathy, joy, imagination. I've really never met a Harry Potter fan yet that is hateful, and I think that's a really beautiful thing. So, I was planning on participating in the Hogsmeade readathon this week. It was going to make up the bulk of my videos for this week. It's all I had planned for this week, the like. So what I thought I would do instead is I want to keep the prompts that G created. She creates prompts like, number 1, read a book with a map, and that's associated with the Marauders map, you know? I want to keep her prompts because I know she puts a lot of time and effort into them, but I want to reconfigure this readathon so that it's still magical, but it's very separate from J.K. Rowling's intellectual property.
And thus,
I have created a new template for this readathon, though again, the prompts remain G's. This readathon is going to be called Compassio Veraque.
Compassio Veraque.
A Potioneer's readathon. So, Compassio Veraque, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Compassio Veraque
is Latin for empathy. And my idea here is that all of the prompts that G initially created, I am going to pair to a fictional potions ingredient. And the idea is with all of the ingredients / books that you check off your list, you get that much closer to brewing a full potion of Compassio Veraque. Why am I saying that in a Spanish accent? My Spanish teacher would be proud. I'm sure all the Latin teachers would just be horrified.
Compassio Veraque.
Compassio Veraque. Compassio Veraque. So G's first prompt is obviously read a book with a map. For the first ingredient, if you read a book with a map, which is G's first prompt for the original Hogsmeade readathon, you will add a golden compass, or the first ingredient, to your potion. I chose a golden compass because I think there's a book called The Golden Compass that's also kind of magical. It sounds like you're going to go on a big adventure, and also all maps, correct maps, have compass roses. The next ingredient you will be adding to your potion are 3 crushed Dragonfly Wings. This corresponds with G's prompt of reading a book that is part of a trilogy. I believe that took you to the 3 broomsticks in the original readathon. For this one, it will mark off the Dragonfly Wings from your potions list. 3 broomsticks. 3 Dragonfly Wings? I tried. The third ingredient you are welcome to check off of your potion making list is concentrated Liquid Moonshine. This ingredient corresponds with G's prompt of reading a book with a cup of tea and starting a book with a cup of tea. I think just the idea of reading by moonlight just sounds so elegant. I've never been able to do it because I have horrible eyesight. I cannot read for the life of me if it's not sunny with a chance of meatballs, you know? So, if you succeed in reading a book And when you read that book, you start drinking a cup of tea, whether that be Earl Grey, chamomile, black tea, green.
It's not oblong.
Oolong tea. Then you have officially added concentrated liquid moonlight to your potion of Compassio Veraque.
Compassio Veraque.
The fourth prompt is not the most popular book, and it has like less than 10,000 ratings on Goodreads. If you read a book that has less than 10,000 ratings on Goodreads, you will have added Earwax of Newt to your potion. Why did I pick Earwax of Newt? Well, Newt obviously has a correlation with the magical world, so maybe you'll get a bit of indirect nostalgia. And Fred and George and Dumbledore all have a distaste for Bertie Bott's every flavored beans. The Weasley twins because they once had a bogey flavored jelly bean, and Dumbledore because he once had an earwax flavored one, not the most popular flavor.
A lot. Earwax.
If you add Earwax of Newt to your potion, you'll be that much closer to brewing pure, strong, undiluted empathy. The fifth prompt from G's original Hogsmeade Readathon is to read something with a pink or a green cover, or something that has to do with sweets. For this, what you will need to add to your potion are 7 rhubarb thistles finely chopped. I'm sure you all have heard of strawberry rhubarb pie. The strawberry provides the sweet, the rhubarb is sour, so you're reading a sweet book to counteract the sour of the rhubarb thistles. I picked thistles because I think that the leaves are actually poisonous, and I don't want to poison anyone with empathy. That would kind of ruin the whole point. So if you read a book that either has a pink or a green cover or has something to do with sweets, you will check off 7 finely chopped rhubarb thistles from your potion's ingredients list.
And I will be very proud of you.
Make sure to add this ingredient only after stirring counterclockwise 3 times, or else something not so great could happen. But you are going to want to add powdered diaphragm of Banshee. The ingredient powdered diaphragm of Banshee correlates to the prompt of a humorous read. Banshees are really, really loud creatures. They have very ugly voices, but I'm sure they're just as capable of laughing as the next guy, gal, or non-binary pal. So if you are seeking to brew the perfect Compassio Veraque and earn an excellent on your exam, you will want to make sure to add some powdered diaphragm of Banshee. Our next ingredient is very, very well known in the world of magic. That is a vial of pure dragon's blood. Dragon's blood has many uses. It can be used to heal, it can be used to brew compassion, it can be used to help a dragon's body transport oxygen to all of them cells and nuclei. But there's a catch. In order to be able to add a vial of pure dragon's blood to your potion, you need to read a horror or a thriller novel. It can be any level. It can be a mild Nancy Drew mystery. It could be an Agatha Christie, or it could be like really dark. You could go for some Stephen King, Michael Connelly, Gillian Flynn. Oh, I love her. By checking one of these horror/mysterious novels off your list, you will officially add a vial of dragon's blood to your Compassio Veraque potion. Our third to last ingredient is a robin's eggshell. I picked this because G's original prompt for the 8th book for this readathon is to read a novel by an author of color. I had a video about this yesterday. If you're interested, I'll link it up above. It has some good recommendations if you're looking to read more novels by POCs. I was thinking about books that I want to read or have read, and I thought of Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. People who are not white, often referred to as minorities, even though they might make up more of the world's population than white people, are underprivileged because white people are overprivileged. There's an imbalance there, right? That's very much in evidence in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement. There are links below if you're interested in seeing what you can do to help. It's kind of as though people of color are trapped within the constraints of a racist society, but maybe one day we can work to dismantle that racism together by educating ourselves, by reading books like White Rage and White Fragility, to dismantle this shell, right? So then the baby robin inside can break free. I know it's pretty lame, but I tried. Add a robin's eggshell to your potion. Make sure it's cracked up enough. We don't want like a giant piece of eggshell in our potion to scratch up your throat while you're drinking it. That would be no good. And add it to your potion as soon as you've read a novel by a person or author of color. Laura Jean would be proud of me for this one. The 9th ingredient, the second to last one, to make a solid Compassio Veraque potion is a love letters wax seal. The prompt for the original Hogsmeade Readathon is to read a book that you were either sent in the post, someone gifted to you, shared with you, or a book you added to your TBR. So I was thinking, what do people send to each other? And my inner Laura Jean was like, love letters. So I picked love letters, but then I thought that that would taste a little papery and dry, you know, so I decided on wax because you're able to melt it down, it resolidifies, it'll add some body, some texture, some voluminosity, if you will, to our potion. As soon as you've read a book that you've recently added to your TBR, or that someone is sharing with you or has gifted to you, you are welcome to check off a love letters wax seal from your ingredients list, which leaves you with one more ingredient to brew the perfect Compassio Veraque potion. Empathy. You're almost there. Let's do this. The last ingredient is a rusted skeleton key. G's prompt was to read a steampunky book, a steampunk read. I don't actually know if I have one for this. Maybe I'll reread Cassandra Clare, even though she makes my blood boil. So all you gotta do to add the final ingredient is read a steampunk novel, short story, poetry anthology, anything you want, really. Once you've read all 10 of the novels, and once you've added all 10 of the ingredients, and they're in your cauldron, and they're stewing, and they're bubbling, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Yeah, Shakespeare. The last thing that you have to do to really make this potion work is not reading involved at all. In fact, if you're not a reader and you just happened upon this video, something that you can do to immediately brew this potion is check in with one of your friends or family members. Just ask how they're doing, let them know that you're thinking about them and that you love them and that they mean a lot to you, and you will have brewed a perfectly adequate potion of Compassio Veraque, otherwise known as the empathy potion. So that is my little twist on the original Hogsmeade Readathon. Again, I only decided to do this because of the stuff with J.K. Rowling and the transphobia. So I will, of course, have G's video linked down below. Not only the original Hogsmeade Readathon video, but also the one she released yesterday talking about the future of magical readathons. I will help in any way I can to make magical readathons continue, even if they're without Harry Potter, because I think there's something that brings people a lot of joy and can bring people together and hopefully inspire them to read. So that is my Compassio Veraque potion, a Potioneer's Readathon. I know it'll probably just be me this time around. It's pretty late in the game. Oh, did I ever say when it is? It's this coming week. It's the 22nd through the 28th.
Yes, indeed.
But you're welcome to join if you have nothing better to do or if you want to. So, yeah. Thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you're all relatively well, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.